Hello everyone, it's Kay here, and I'm here today to share my entry in VR for Scrapdaworld, who is Tmika, and this is the volume 11 entry to the Issa Link Party, and sadly there will, by the looks of it, only be one more after this one, so you know, it's still not too late to join in if you'd like to. Currently, the month is running from about the 13th of the month to the next 13th of the month. Tmika is a very, very busy lady. If she can get it up a bit before, she seems to be doing so. But, you know, around that time, give or take. Excuse me a moment. We've got a new addition to the family, and he's into everything at the moment, which I'll share at another time. Anyway, the project that we had to make for this month's Issa Link was a crayon box, which is what this is, and it's a box that measures approximately 6 inches by 4 inches by 1 3/4 inches. Very, very straightforward. There's a very, very comprehensive tutorial that Tmika runs through. As always, she doesn't leave anything to chance. You could be a brand new crafting person has very little experience, and I guarantee you'd be able to follow her tutorial, especially if you wrote everything down and utilised the stop-start button, as we all do on occasion, to make sure you get all the details. But it is a super duper box which had to be decorated with embossed papers and things, and I'd recently purchased the Stampin' Up script embossing folder because I saw a video with a project that this had been used on and just couldn't be without it, basically. I've used craft cardstock. I've used a gold, well, it's not gold actually, it just looks gold because of the distressing I've done. This is the original colour of it, and it's a pearlised cardstock. And then by the time I'd embossed it and then used antique paper distressing ink, that was the overall look that I achieved, which I'm really quite pleased with. I didn't want it to be looking new or, you know, current, we'll say. So that was the box. I used these lovely little flowers from the pound shop here in the UK, which come with the flowers and these little twirly bits, which are ideal. A little puffy sticker here, which I found quite by chance in my local craft store and was absolutely intrigued by them because they have a look of metallic, and they most certainly aren't. You know, it's just the way that they've added colour and buffed up the material to give it that authentic metallic look. So that was the pure and simple decoration. I didn't want it to be too busy. And then inside the box we were asked to make some embossed Glassine bags just to sit in the box. Now clearly you could put anything into that size of box. It's a good size. It is, if you look inside here, quite deep, and you would, I'm sure, get some nice little goodies in there if you wanted to. But for the purposes of the Issa Link, this is what I've done. I've used another embossing folder on the bag, inked it up with the same ink on the front, used some of the embossed paper on the front to enhance the front of the bag, and I've used the pearlised white, the pearlised gold, 2 little hearts that I cut out with oh dear, punches, which worked very nicely, and then one solitary little bit of bling there on the edge. Used my pinking shears just to add a nice decorative edge to the top of the bag. And if I can just open them up, they're quite flat. You wouldn't get a great deal into them, especially as I've, oh no, I thought I'd glued them together with my Yoo-hoo glue. But basically, you know, they're a nice size. You would get some lovely little craft toppers in there, ribbon, nothing too bulky, but small things would fit in there quite nicely. So I've made 2 bags virtually the same size, which are those 2. I then went on to make a smaller one because it's not purchased Glassine bags. What I've done is just used the kitchen baking paper and just cut and shape them to how I wanted them to be, and that's the smallest size. I did add the little bit of glittery ribbon purely because I like it and I think it fits in with most projects. It's one of those very versatile things that you have in your stash most of the time. Right, that's the dog starting to play. So with that, I will say thank you very much for joining me. If you'd like to jump onto the Issa Link bandwagon for the last 2 months, there's still time for this month should you so desire, and then as I understand it, as I've said, I believe there will be one more, and then there have been 12 months of really lovely projects to follow and make for the party. So thank you very much everyone, take care, happy crafting, bye bye for now.